What if I told you that before Titanic ever sank, the word Liverpool was already painted across her stern? That two of English football's biggest rivals were born from the exact same football club, on the exact same afternoon, over a dispute about rent. That a damp, unremarkable cellar on a back street here changed the entire sound of modern music? This is Liverpool, and its real story runs far deeper than football chants and Beatles tourism. Liverpool, a port city built on the River Mersey, shaped by ships, migration, money, and music. Some of that money earned through practices the city has since formally apologized for. This isn't just the story of four lads who became the world's biggest band. It's the story of a city that connected, and at times exploited, both sides of the Atlantic. Most people assume Titanic belonged to Southampton. She didn't. Titanic's official port of registry was Liverpool. The word was painted right across her stern. Her owner, the White Star Line, was founded in Liverpool in 1845 and ran its headquarters from a building on James Street that still stands today. At least 90 of Titanic's crew, roughly 1 in 10, came from Liverpool or the surrounding Merseyside area, including her captain, Edward Smith, who lived in the city for years. Titanic even had a crew corridor nicknamed Scotland Road, after a real street in Liverpool. The ship was actually scheduled to stop in Liverpool on her way from Belfast to Southampton, but that call was cancelled almost at the last minute. She never got to see the city whose name she carried. Titanic wasn't the only great liner tied to the city. The RMS Lusitania, one of the fastest and most luxurious ships of her era, was also registered in Liverpool, owned by Cunard, and ran the Liverpool to New York route. In May 1915, while sailing from New York back toward Liverpool, she was torpedoed by a German U-boat off the coast of Ireland. She sank in just 18 minutes, killing nearly 1,200 people. A disaster that helped turn American public opinion against Germany during the First World War. Between 1830 and 1930, an estimated 9 million people boarded ships at Liverpool's docks, bound for new lives in America, Canada, and Australia. During the Irish potato famine of the 1840s alone, roughly 1 million people passed through the city on their way across the Atlantic. For decades, Liverpool wasn't just a British port. It was Europe's front door to the New World. But Liverpool's rise as a global port has a darker chapter. In the 18th century, Liverpool became the dominant British port in the transatlantic slave trade, at its peak responsible for the vast majority of Britain's slaving voyages. The wealth it generated helped transform Liverpool from a small fishing town of around 5,000 people in 1700 into a booming city of nearly 80,000 by 1800. In the year 2000, Liverpool City Council issued a formal apology for the city's role in the slave trade, an acknowledgement of a history that shaped the city's wealth, its buildings, and its population for generations. Liverpool's football rivalry has an origin story most fans outside the city don't know. Everton Football Club played at Anfield Stadium starting in 1884. But in 1892, a dispute over rising rent with the stadium's owner, John Hooting, caused a bitter split. The majority of Everton's board walked away and built a brand new stadium less than a mile away, Goodison Park. Left holding an empty stadium, Hooting simply formed a brand new club to play there instead. He called it Liverpool Football Club. Two of England's fiercest rivals were born from the very same boardroom, over the very same argument about money. On February 9, 1961, four young musicians played a lunchtime show in a damp brick cellar on Mathew Street, for a fee of £5 split between them. It was the Beatles' first performance at the Cavern Club, a former jazz venue that had started experimenting with beat music. Over the next 2.5 years, they would return to play there nearly 300 times. It was at one of those lunchtime shows in November 1961 that a local record shop manager named Brian Epstein first saw them play. Weeks later, he became their manager, and the rest is music history. The Beatles didn't have to invent their imagery, they just had to look around their own childhoods. Penny Lane is a real street and bus terminus in Liverpool, where Paul McCartney lived as a young boy, and where he and John Lennon used to catch the bus together. A few miles away stands Strawberry Field, a former Salvation Army children's home where Lennon used to play in the gardens as a boy. Both places inspired one of the most famous double A-side singles in music history, Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields Forever, released together in February 1967. Rising above the city is Liverpool Cathedral, the largest cathedral and the largest religious building in all of Britain. Construction began in 1904 under a 22-year-old architect named Giles Gilbert Scott, and it wasn't finished until 1978, 74 years later, and 18 years after Scott himself had died. It's also home to the largest working church organ in Britain, with over 10,000 pipes. That's the strange thing about Liverpool. The same docks that sent ships into the slave trade also sent 9 million hopeful emigrants toward new lives. The same waterfront connected to both Titanic and Lusitania also connected generations of musicians, dockworkers, and dreamers to the rest of the world. Liverpool doesn't have one story. It has all of them, stacked on top of each other, along the same river. So next time you hear a Beatles song, watch a Liverpool or Everton match, or see an old photo of Titanic's stern with that single word painted across it, remember there's a much bigger story underneath it. Liverpool built ships, exported people, imported culture, and changed music forever, all from the same stretch of river. If this surprised you, subscribe, because there's always another layer to uncover.